Man United 3, Fulham 2. And that is what we're talking about. That is the type of performance that we are talking about. When we're not on the front foot, when the chips are down, can you find something to win the game? Can you find moments? And it all comes from intent. It all comes from being able to express yourselves. We weren't at our best today. We knew that this game would probably look like this. This is what happens in these type of games when you're expected to be on the front foot a little bit more. But we were in a position where we're 2-0 up and actually fairly comfortable, even though we wasn't our sparkling best up front. But the boys dug in. They absolutely dug in. First of all, Casemiro, goal and assist. Absolutely unreal from Uncle Cass. Yeah. His farewell tour continues. Absolute 10 out of 10 performance from him. Brilliant first goal, leaping at the back post, something he's done so often for us over the last few years. And the leadership as well, winning duels, being tactically aware of what's going on now. He's got the right setup. Uncle Cass was excellent, and he gets the assist from Matheus Cunha as well. And you know what? I'm not going to lie, Matheus Cunha wasn't having his best day. I see a lot of you saying, he's better off the bench. This is why he shouldn't start, etc., etc. Well, I can hear that in terms of open play. He wasn't playing his best off the left. It's a different type of proposition than Patrick Dorgu, but he found the back of the net. When you want that little bit of magic, that is why you spend the big bucks, because these are the difference makers. You've got Alejandro Garnacho stinking up the place at Chelsea with a baggy touch half the time, giving the ball away every single time with no magic in his boots, and you spend the big 62.5 million release clause for players like that because they can change games. He hits the surf again. Brilliant from him in terms of that finish. And don't get me wrong, he didn't have his best game in open play. But I have to say, that's when you need your big players to stand up. Sani Laman's another one. I have to say, Sani Laman's, I think his best attributes right now are the fact that we're barely talking about him. He couldn't do anything about the goals that were scored against him today. A great penalty from Raul Jimenez, and a fantastic shot on the top corner from outside the box from Kennedy. But everything else he did, he kept us in the game. He kept us leading the game. Big saves in the first half. Big save from Harry Wilson, second half from the free kick. Another save, I think, from Jimenez, a reaction save that went round the post. He just did his thing. And claiming crosses, coming out and punching the ball, so important. A dominant goalkeeper to take the pressure off the team. That was excellent from him. I have to say, Sani Lamans deserves all the praise that there is. Harry Maguire was actually having a really, really strong game until probably, to be fair, till he sort of self-combusted in like the last 5 to 10 minutes of the game. He had a ball played round him, over his head, should I say, from Anderson, which let Raul Jimenez in. That wasn't the best from Harry Maguire, and he got let off the hook. And then he gave away the penalty as well, which was a penalty, if we're being honest. It was a penalty. So he kind of started like short-circuiting a little bit towards the last 10 minutes of the game and losing lacks. He had lacks of concentration, but before that, he was excellent. Lisandro Martinez, I'm telling you, the roars coming out of the East Stand for the last 10, 15 minutes of the game when he was having that fire in the belly. He said Michael Carrick touched his heart, and we could see it. He was running through brick walls. And on the ball, he was doing everything that Lisandro Martinez is great at. He was absolutely brilliant on the ball, threading passes between the lines, doing some excellent work as well on the ball, I have to say. And you know what? Benjamin Sesko, bro. Benjamin Sesko. He came straight on. He hit the post, and then he was unlucky with the ricochet with the header. It went just over before that. And when you need a goal out of nothing, we could have been feeling sorry for ourselves. The mentality could have been very, very low. The confidence could have been knocked by us. Absolute stunner. We was on the end of an absolute stunner, like we did to Arsenal last week, where you get stunned, someone wraps it, top bins, you just discombobulated. But what do? Get the ball down. Stretford then gets up, and Air Sesko lands. Air Sesko has landed, even though he shot from the floor. But you get what I'm saying. Takes a touch, wraps it. And you know what as well? Bruno Fernandes, 2 assists. This guy, and again, during the game, he didn't maybe have his absolute best game. I'm not going to say he did. But again, he finds a way to impact the game. Assist for Casemiro. He wasn't going to get past Bassi if he didn't take that second touch to cross it, and sets up Sesko across the floor. So all he has to do is take a touch, swivel, and strike it into the top corner. Now, Sesko's got a lot to do. I'm not saying he doesn't. But again, Bruno Fernandes, he makes things look so easy when the pressure's on, okay? When there's a lot of heat, and you have to make the right pass. He composes himself and he does it time and time again. Every single time. That's his 12th assist of the season. He's having a great season, bro. He's the best attacking midfielder in the league by far. No more Bruno Fernandes slander. And then there's Michael Carrick. Listen, it was more of a back to basics situation for Michael Carrick. He's put us back to basics. We're playing good old fashioned 4-4-2, guys. Don't get it twisted. We're playing 4-4-2. Ain't no 4-3-3. Ain't no 4-2-3-1 and all of this stuff. It's old school Sir Alex 4-4-2. Wingers work your backsides off. You know what I mean? Centre halves win your duels. The front two, they're not going after people. They're sort of sitting in a mid block, but they're working in tangent. And I like it. You know, I like it. He's keeping things simple. Yes, we had to ride our luck a little bit. I think we're much better in that sort of mid block. When we tried to go after Fulham, when we tried to make situations happen for ourselves, that was where it was really difficult. That was where it was really difficult. We got opened up a little bit. So we're by nowhere near the means of the finished article. Of course we're not. You know, and those bigger games are going to suit us when we can get up for it, and you know maybe the game's a bit more transitional. It is going to be a work in progress, but Michael Carrick has found a way to set the team up so that the best players are in their best positions. It really is not rocket science. It isn't. It isn't. You know, you can talk about tactical nous. You can talk about being unbelievable on the ball. You can talk about doing what you need to do and trying to be like Pep and this, that, and the other. You can do all them things. But at the end of the day, football's about doing your basics right. And that's what Michael Carrick is helping us do. He's setting us up in a way to get the best out of each individual player's attributes. Ahmad's been able to be high and wide so we can get at people, and Bumo's been able to go down the middle and make runs in behind. He's versatile enough to go out to the left hand side. Bruno's got license to roam and go and make things happen. You got to look at the likes of what's his face? I lost my train of thought there. Casemiro, he's being allowed to flourish now. Kobbie Mainoo, he's playing very well. The defense is stepping up. So, look, we conceded 2 silly goals today because, well, one was a worldie. You couldn't really do anything about it. But the impetus to keep the ball and take the game away from Fulham was not there. I understand that. And we're not going to see that. We're not going to see that we're not going to see that turnaround that quickly. We're not. We're just not. We're not set up like that. We don't probably have the players to do that. And Michael Carrick can only do so much. But it's about getting a tune out of what you've got. And that is what Michael Carrick is doing brilliantly. Fantastic result. Yes, the performance was touch and go, but it didn't need to be made that difficult. We were in control at 2-0, you know, and we still had chances. We still had chances to close the game or see the game out in a less dramatic fashion. But listen, I can't complain when they show that much balls, when they show that much courage and bravery and expression. And the most important thing is that you win the game. And that was like United of old. That was. Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm out of here. Come on.